Yo, oh man, I love that intro, especially at 2 o'clock in the morning, at 3 o'clock in the morning. That shit's fire, man.
That shit
It
bumps,
was
man.
You know what's crazy, Shake? I heard somebody playing a song in the car that sounded exactly like that beat. I was like,
yeah,
"Whoa! Did I just go into the insomnia realm?" It
Real,
was playing
real,
it right next to me.
real talk. It sounds like music from Stranger Things. Like
yeah,
it's dope as fuck. I like it.
yeah. Shout out to HB who always gives me the best intros, man. So we have Stephen D. It took me a while to finally get him on, but we got him
Sorry,
on.
man. We
No,
have
no, it's all good, man.
we've been playing back and forth for like 2 months now.
Yeah, yeah. Because I was trying to get him on a pick'em episode, but he doesn't want to lose 2 times in 1 week, so I understand that.
I had my own pick'em show on my own thing. I couldn't. It would
I know.
conflict. But no, you're probably right. I would have lost twice.
No, but hey, man, I met you finally in person in the Carolina game, I believe, right?
This year, yeah.
It was awesome,
was,
man.
Was that the
Finally
fan
meet you, bro.
weekend? Because you went the
Yeah, that
next week
was-
after the Giant game, right?
Yeah, I didn't go to the Giant game. I went to fan club weekend, and that was a wild week, man. This year, I was putting together the away games too with Tail Greeter and Miami Sports Music. We did three events this year in Philadelphia, Baltimore, and DC. And the Philadelphia, it was some crazy shit this year, and that week was a crazy week because my mind was in 15 million places because I was helping out, Mark Angelo and Scott Howell, who put together fan club weekend every year. Shout out to those guys with some of the entertainment side of that week. And then I was, dealing with the drama of Philadelphia and that whole, craziness. And then, and dealing with the, potential move from a podcast network. And it was a crazy time of year, September this year. It was insane, September and October this year for me. So I do remember hanging out with you a little bit. My brain just doesn't remember a lot from that time because there was just so much going on.
Yeah, man. That's understandable, man. Trust me, it was a blur, man. I've been to most this. I think this was one of the best seasons as a fan, not because of the success or failures. I'm talking strictly as a fan and strictly because I've been to more games. I went to the watch parties or Dalfreaky's watch parties. Those were amazing. Dalfreaky. Well, the thing I like about Dalfreaky, though, is the fact that she goes around, like when she's at the watch party, she goes around and she mingles with the guests and she talks to them. It's not like one of those people. She doesn't think she's too big for her britches. She's a big deal, but the way she acts and conducts herself, it's like she's very humble and very down to earth, man. And
I mean that's Allie. Allie, I've known her now for I don't know, probably 4 or 5 years, and 4 years minimum. And we've had our ups and downs, and we're close, and we've been through the ringer together, and we've been through a lot of good times and bad times. And the one thing I can say is, she's always down, right? Like she's always there at the end of the day. And I can tell you her viewpoint of just life is whatever's best for the fan. She is a diehard fan. That's why she won Fan of the Year, and she deserved it. And there's not too many people in the fan community that represent what being a fan is as much as she does, from her philanthropy, stuff off the field and doing what she does on the field, quote unquote, in the stands during the game day and through in the deep end, section 129. But yeah, she does a lot, and she's great. Can't say enough good things about her.
You know what? Another person, and I know a lot of Dolphin fans are going to say, "Hell, fuck no," but if you know him, you're going to agree with me 100%, Stephen D. TD Finstock is in that same realm. He will give you the shirt off his back. Dude, he makes time. He's been on my show a couple of times. He's never like, oh no, man, I'm too big for you. Get the hell away from me. You know what I'm saying? He's made time, and he treats, even if you have like 5 listeners, he still goes on your podcast and shows support. So I mean, There's not enough good things I can say about TD Fence Talk as well.
So, when I first started doing this content creator stuff, probably about 4 years ago, I went to school for broadcasting, for sports broadcasting. I worked in radio. I worked for ESPN and CBS Radio. I worked as a producer. I worked with the Baltimore Orioles and the Baltimore Ravens, and I worked at ESPN Radio in Baltimore and CBS Radio in Baltimore. Like I went to school for it, right? So when I first decided that this was something that I wanted to pursue on my own through Miami Sports Music and Solo D through the YouTube channel that there was, I finally sat down and I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do, right? And TD and Dudley and K Flexen and a couple of other people had been doing this in this community for a little bit, right? But there wasn't too many the way that there is now. Now there's like 30 people.
Yeah, don't forget Great One DeVore, the homie, Great One DeVore.
Great One DeVore too, right? TD, when I first started doing this, no lie, like a month in, he's like, dude, call me. Can you talk at like 11 at night? And I said, yeah, I don't mind doing that. Are you okay with that? He's like, yeah. I can't tell you how many times in those first 3 months that he would be on the phone with me from like 11 p.m. till 2 or 3 in the morning, teaching me about YouTube algorithms, certain hashtags to use, what you put in descriptions, and just having life conversations just about YouTube and where, we wanted to go. And he is the nicest person.
Yeah, he definitely changed. Yeah, he takes you through every step of the way.
He does. He's the nicest person in this community. There's not enough good things to say about him. He gets so much flack. And look, to be fair, he brings it on himself in certain situations because of his.
I mean, he welcomes it at time. He'll tell you when he welcomes 100%. It, or he'll tell you when he trolls.
It's part of his on-screen persona, right? But nobody in this community, in my opinion,
good smoke, by the way.
And I mean this for every single person in this community, Shake and Crypto. Nobody has done more for newbies and beginners in the community than TD Fence Talk. And he does not care. Right. He doesn't gatekeep. He doesn't care. Like, he wants everybody to win. He is 100% the most authentic, real person in this community. And it's not even close. Yep. It's not even close.
Shake, you sent the link to Lewis?
Oh, yeah. Let me, yeah.
All right. And it's not even close, So I can't say enough of good things about TD and the big deal that he just got with Bet US TV. He deserves everything. Yeah. All the flowers he's getting right now, all the deals he's getting, he's put in the time, he's put in the work, and he deserves it. Yeah. And he's great at what he does. And I can tell you, to this day, we still talk and we chat behind this. As a matter of fact, we had a conversation yesterday online just about, just shit. And the inner workings of YouTube and just everything. And I can tell you right now, there is, and I know people hate him and I know people can't stand him. There's nobody better in this community than TD Fence Talk, and that's a fact. And I will argue with anybody who wants to argue with me about that.
Those are facts. I'm not gonna. You ain't gonna get none out of me, man. That's for sure.
Because there are some people in this community that don't think like that. There are some people in this community who think that they're entitled, that there's certain people in this community that shouldn't have a platform, that don't want to see other people win. TD wants to see every single person win.
Yeah. And it's like crabs in a bucket. You know what I mean?
100%. Can't say enough good things.
No discriminating on crabs.
No, so what made you go? By the way, I'm gonna give you a testimony, and I said this to his face one day. I seen him. He was on the Fence Tailgate. This is when I was a listener. All right. And Mike Olivero was on there. So he dropped the link. El Capitan dropped the link so people could have a chat with him. And Mike Olivero, I'm not gonna lie, when I first met him, I thought he was a negative Nancy. I thought he was a whiny little bitch. All right.
And
I
thought the same
unsubscribed
way
to
about
him,
the
but
big O.
then it's like what's funny is everything that he said, everything that that was negative and whatever. I'm like, holy crap!
Started to come to fruition.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I started listening to him again, and then I started listening to all these other, sugar coat people. I was like, not you though. You know what I'm saying? I know you're a homer, but anyway, hopefully you're dealing. No, but no, seriously, no, but no.
You get your
Mike
positivity out of it.
Olivero, I like him, man. He keeps it real too, man. He's very objective when it comes. So if he's excited about a Miami Dolphins,
There's
it's genuine.
exactly. There's legit excitement, right? And
Right.
that goes a long way. That goes a long way with people, right? And by the way, there's different flavors for different folks, man.
Yeah,
You can
but
get
no, I apologize, and you know what? I should have come to that judgment, man. Mike Olivero is another good dude in this community.
what makes a good person in this community, do you think?
Well,
Being true to
again,
yourself.
he's. I remember when TD was first. TD and Dudley Duron were first starting out. They were part of Dolphins Talk at one time. So was Great One DeVore. He gives other people a voice as well. It's not just about Mike Olivero. It's about the Dolphins Talk Network.
You're talking about Michael Vila.
Yeah, Michael Vila.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about Mike Galafaro.
No, Mike Olivero. Mike Olivero. No,
Michael Vila.
Michael Vila. That's how you said it. My bad. Michael Vila.
Hey,
Yeah, that's
Vila.
what I'm talking about. Michael Vila. Sorry.
Okay. You're talking about Dolphins Talk Michael Vila.
Yes, him.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Look, in the transit about a year and a half ago, Mike and I had a quick phone conversation about the possibility. Look, I don't mind having this conversation now that hindsight's been 2020. About a year ago, I had a conversation with two people, Michael Vila, Dolphins Talk, and TD Fins Talk.
Yeah.
About the possibility of me leaving Miami sports music, at least from the YouTube side of the platform, not everything, and going out and converting. Shout out to Solo D. I love Solo, and we'll talk about him in a little bit. But and Mike presented a very good opportunity for me, and so did TD. But I wasn't quite ready to pull the trigger yet because I wanted to see where I could take Miami sports music and move it. And the one thing that I've learned in 3 years, going into 4 years of doing this, is you cannot be as big as you want to be by yourself. You have to have a team. You have to have people on the squad that can help raise your level of intensity, help raise your level of just, where you're at in life and where you want to go. And I knew that
networking.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not about what you know; it's who you know. Sometimes, right? You're right about that, Crypto.
Right.
But, TD and Mike were definitely those guys that I wanted to work with and could work with. And earlier this year, I guess back in September, October, I was after I was dealing with the Philadelphia mess. I was kind of burnt out, man. I was burnt out after the Philadelphia game because I was dealing with the tailgate drama and dealing with all the nonsense that came with that. And I felt very alone, and Solo's doing his own thing and I'm doing my thing and I'm trying to create this and that. And I just, going in year 4, I was like, I can't do this by myself anymore. And I just happened to be having a conversation with Mike, not going into too much detail, but enough where he could read between the lines. And Mike presented me with an opportunity that could help me grow. And it was very intriguing, right? It was very, oh shit, this sounds like something I want to be a part of. So I, had a conversation with Solo. I had a conversation with Cameron and Jamie Bahamas, who are all part of Miami Sports Music. And I told them about the opportunity, and all 3 of them were like, if you don't fucking make that move, you're stupid. So it was too good of an opportunity for me to say no to. And so I decided to, take Clock Blockers over from Miami Sports Music to Dolphins Talk, even though Miami Sports Music's YouTube channel had, I think it sits at 11,000 right now. and we're about to hit 5,000 on Dolphins Talk. But Dolphins Talk also has the audio side of things, not just the YouTube side of things.
Correct.
And they wanted to do more stuff on social media, which is where I wanted to expand that brand to. And it was an opportunity to work with Mike and also work with some other people that I really wanted to work with. And through that, it's given me the opportunity now to have this new podcast with Josh Moser from WSVN in Miami. And I can tell you right now that podcast was only supposed to be a 4-week thing till the end of the season. And after the season was over, Josh and I were like, we work really well together. Let's keep doing this. And Josh and I decided to keep the thing going. And I can tell you right now, I'm waiting for a text message. There's a really good chance we're going to have the biggest guest I've ever had on a show on Tuesday night. And if it's not this Tuesday, it'll be hopefully next Tuesday. So
I already have an idea of who it is.
After the Super Bowl.
I don't know. It might be tough because of the Super Bowl, but we're hoping that I can get him on Tuesday. So if I can get him on, it's gonna be huge.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying because I'm with Larry K and I'm also with the Fins Tailgate.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing I like about the Fins Tailgate is I'm never alone. If I had to talk to El Capitan about something, one thing about El Capitan,
great guy,
is whenever I say, hey, text me when you get a chance, he always calls me back and listens to me. And you know what I'm saying? He's got my back 100%.
Well, he's got anybody that's under him, he will back them up. Even if they might be in a fault, he's very loyal to his guys. And I don't mean that in a negative way that he backs them up to a fault. He's just very loyal to his crew, right? And he will be the first one behind closed doors to tell somebody on his crew, hey, man, you might have been wrong about this. I won't say that publicly, but you might have been wrong about this. And behind closed doors, he'll go to the party that might have had an issue with and say, hey, man, look, let's resolve this. El Capitan goes about things the right way. And he has put together a squad of people in the Fins Tailgate that, in my opinion, has been absolutely amazing because all of you guys were listeners for the most part for a long time. And he decided, no, your personality's too good to not to just be a listener. You need to have a platform. And that's a good thing about the Fins Tailgate. He's given fans a platform to have their own voice and their own shows and their own personalities. And, that's why Chris is who he is. He's really good at that.
Yeah. It's funny. I had a couple of people tell me, man, I've always liked you as a person when you were a guest on the Stephen D show. They always tell me that. I'm glad you got your own show.
You were one of the very first guests to talk on the show, actually. When I first started taking callers, you were there from the beginning. I'll always support anything you
I was too, yeah.
You and Crypto and Lewis and Von Joe. I will support a lot of what you guys do, and if I'm able to help out, I'm going to do what I can. You guys are great.
And we appreciate that. Yeah, man, and that's why Crypto. Me and Crypto worked together, like you said about the it was like a 4-week. When I first started coming on, I'm not a solo guy. You know what I'm saying? So I like to have somebody off with me so I could bounce ideas off of.
It's tough to do.
And at the time, he wasn't a member, but I always brought, whenever I came on, before he became on the Fins Tailgate, I always sent Crypto the link because me and him, we have good chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we're the
chemistry.
That's why we're called the Currency Connection.
Yep. Exactly, Shake.
Look at the logo on the top.
And I definitely appreciate it wholeheartedly. You see the logo, Steven?
I do.
The Currency Connection credit.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Remember, it expires in 100 years.
Yeah,
well, 2020. Can you make payments in hot dogs with it, Crypto?
we're gonna set up an alternative form.
Inside joke for those of you who are listening. It's an inside joke.
It's an inside joke for the.
Listen,
somebody gets up at 3:00 in the morning and says, "Man, Steve wants to make payments in hot dogs." It's 3 in the morning.
No, but actually, when he paid you your hot dog debt, you guys met Harbaugh in the stands, right? The baseball stands.
Yeah, and it helped them win a championship. We're responsible for the Michigan
Crypto and
title
I were
run.
responsible for Michigan's title run this year. This year, I lived up in Maryland up until 3-4 months ago, and Crypto lives in the Northern Virginia area, and he hit me up in a text, and he's like,
Maryland.
"Do you want to go to a Nationals game?" And I love baseball. Like I don't care who's playing. I'll go see. I love minor league baseball. I love Major League Baseball. As a matter of fact, if you're honestly asking me, I love baseball more than I love football, but I love the Dolphins more than I love anything. So it's weird. It contradicts. But I love baseball. I can go to any baseball game in the world and watch and enjoy myself. And so when he said, I was like, hell yeah, I'll go to a game. So I got on the train. I drove to the train station and then got on the train to go meet Crypto, and we went to the Nationals. It was the Washington Nationals versus Chicago Cubs, and our seats were really good seats. They were on the third base side, right near the foul pole. I would probably say 3 or 4 rows from the field, if that. And when we get down to our seats, there's like 100 people in University of Michigan clothes. And I turned to Crypto and I was like, I think this is the fucking football team. And he's like, no, it's not. What are they doing here? Why would they be here?
Right.
And it was 100%. And they were sitting in our seats. So we go down to sit in our seats. And I was like, hey, I think you're in our seats. Well, I guess somebody from the front office of the University of Michigan was like, hey, go sit over here. We're going to take care of you guys. There wasn't a lot of people. It was the Nationals game. Nobody was fucking there, but they were in our seats nonetheless. So we played it to our advantage. And we were like, all we want to do is meet Harbaugh. If we can meet Harbaugh, we don't give a shit. So he's like, well, I'll make sure you guys get to meet him. So we were there watching the game with the University of Michigan football players in the background. JJ McCarthy was there. Everybody was there. And I can tell you, we sat there for that whole game. And I've met famous people before and people, sports figures before. Harbaugh, literally the entire game. There were, when I tell you there was hundreds of people wanting autographs and photos for a 9-inning baseball game, he sat there, watched the game, and literally took a picture with anybody that asked. And not only did he take a picture, he would have a 2-minute conversation. Hey, where are you from? Why are you here? You enjoying the game? And would have like in a 90-second span, ask 2 or 3 questions to every single person that took a picture with him.
Yep.
My love and respect for Jim Harbaugh through the roof. And Crypto and I were like, holy shit, like, who does that?
He entertained every question.
Easily,
every person. Yeah, he could easily said,
security.
Yeah,
I want to watch the game. The entire game, he took pictures and signed autographs and talked. And so
talked to
when it was our
interacted with everybody. Yep.
When it was our turn, we didn't. The guy. We waited for the guy to come over and get us. He's like, if you want to go over there and get a picture and talk with him, he'll do it. And he introduced the guy introduced us and said, hey, these are Dolphins fans from Miami. We were sitting in their seats, and he talked for us for 2.5 minutes easily. And
a few moments. Yeah,
it was really good, man. He took a picture with him. It was a lot of fun. And it was one of those moments that we'll never forget. And they ended up going to the national championship and winning the game. And it was because of Crypto and I, as far as we're concerned,
Yeah. We gave them that extra inspiration. Gave them that inspiration. Hadn't we been there, Stephen D, they may have fell off a cliff, man. They might have just fallen. The bottom may have fallen out. I'm convinced.
So it pissed me out that not only does Stephen Ross's college team makes a playoff appearance before his pro team, but
wins a national championship.
His college team wins a championship before his pro team.
Before his pro team wins
before his pro team wins a playoff game. Right.
Let's call it a spade, all right?
Right.
And by the way, real quick question.
Yep.
Let's talk a little, since we're talking Dolphins. What do you think of this as a DC potential?
Man, fuck him.
Ryan. You don't want him as a co-defensive coordinator with Tony Dungy? I was gonna ask Lewis about that. he brought up Rex Ryan. I said, why don't we just have him as a co-defensive coordinator with Tony Dungy?
I thought Lewis was coming out.
No, I sent him the link. He might come on. He might come on. But
okay, you sent it to him. Okay. Remember, you had two different links, Shake. It might not be the right one.
No, I think
it's like two different links. Yeah, okay. Remember the one you sent me? It was for this one, and then.
Hold on, let me
make sure. Defensive coordinator, I'll lose my shit.
Yeah, I sent him the right link.
Okay.
Absolutely lose my shit if that happens.
I mean, he's a hell of a defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I don't want Rex Ryan anywhere near this team.
Why is that?
Rex Ryan.
Because he's Rex Ryan.
What happened with you and Rex? Stephen D says no to sexy Rexy.
So if he goes
sexy about Rex Ryan, buddy.
Sexy. So if he turns around, if he produces a number one defense, you're still not gonna like him?
No. I mean, there's a reason he hasn't been a defensive coordinator in this league for a while. Why do we think all of a sudden he's going to wake up and do it for us? Because we're naive and we're yearning for a playoff win, and we think anything is our savior. Let's be real. Right now, there's a red flag for us. How many people have we interviewed?
And probably about 9 now.
But you know what's funny?
And how many of them have decided to take jobs elsewhere?
Well,
they took it elsewhere. Yeah.
Chris Shula just got promoted.
Chris Shula is a huge red flag. Why the fuck would he not want to come here and be the defense coordinator for us? His grandfather or his
exactly. Right? Yeah, his grandfather.
The lineage.
Yeah, we need some nepotism.
I'm telling you right now, that's a red flag for us that we can't get nobody in. Now, I'm not trying to be negative Nancy. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, Shula should have said, okay,
we need to be looking at everything with a side eye right now because we can't seem to bring in anybody to be the DC here. Now,
they might have to go to college realms and get them.
So let me ask you this. I'm glad you brought this up. I
think Ohio State defensive coordinator needs to be promoted.
So now, being the high side is 2020, everybody said we couldn't, a couple of years ago, we couldn't bring in offense because we did the same thing happened with us. We had like all these offensive coordinators. None of them wanted to come in. All of them said it was a Brian Flores issue. Now, are we seeing that it really wasn't a Brian Flores issue? It was a Dolphins issue?
You know, I had Michael Vila on this past week on my show.
By the way, he was spitting fire that show.
He was
cooking.
And he said something that I don't think I ever really thought about. Or at least I haven't thought about since McDaniel's been here. That's the fair thing. I've not thought about since McDaniel's been here. And that is, there are certain people within this, within the NFL or within football circles, college and pro, that don't want to come to Miami because of Stephen Ross. Now, I don't know if that's true.
So part of that is true. There's a little truth in that.
But
because they're looking at the overall dysfunction.
100%. I can look. If you go back and listen to what Mike said, which I thought was great, he said a lot of great points. Go back and listen to it. It was on Clock Blackers, I believe, on Monday's show. And he said something to the effect of, look, there's just people that are not going to come here because as long as Stephen Ross owns this team. And I had to think to myself, and I'm like, fuck, that's why we haven't won for 20 years. Because there's no reason, guys, let's be fucking real. There's no reason that we missed out on Tom Brady. There's no reason that we should have missed out on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
There's no reason we should have missed out. Hell, not that I wanted Watson, but on the show. Like, you're telling me that we whiffed on every single fucking quarterback we flirted with over the last 3 years? Are you telling me that there's a reason we've had 7 straight first-time head coaches? Because no respectable head coach wants to come here and coach. And I didn't, and I'm telling you, I think he's onto something with it. I didn't think about, I never thought about it till Mike said it last Monday. And then I've been giving it a lot of thought. Guys. I've been giving it a lot of thought. And I think he hit the nail on the head, Shake. I just don't think that any big time respectable coach wants to come to South Florida and be part of this organization while Stephen Ross is here. And that sucks, but I think he's onto it, man. I think that hits the nail on the head.
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. That is crazy.
I mean, just think about
looking at him side-eyed.
We haven't won NFL, NBA, NHL, and NFL. NFL,
all major four sports.
All major four pro sports, Major League Baseball. The Miami Dolphins are the one with the last playoff win out of 4 major professional sports in North America.
We're number 1.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. We're now number 1. That's crazy.
Now, to be fair, do I think that Mike's case is 100% spot on? I don't know. Is the real answer to that. Yeah. But I think that he's given me enough to think about, and the evidence is enough there to be like, that's a damn good theory and something that every Dolphins fan should think about, because why the fuck have we not won a playoff game since 2000? There's no need for it.
Yeah. At least win one, you know.
We couldn't get lucky. Why has there been 7 first-time head coaches as the last 7 head coaches here? And
they first ever time getting a coaching job in the league.
And look, can I bring you up another red flag now that I'm thinking about it?
Go ahead.
Well, Dan Campbell didn't want to interview for the job again when it was available.
Correct.
He refused.
Oh,
right now,
man.
He stayed an assistant head coach.
When it was available in 2019, they offered him to come in. He said no, thank you.
Yeah, no thanks, but no thanks.
That is a red flag. That was at the beginning of our rebuild. So he didn't want to rebuild with us versus Detroit.
Well, when did he take the Detroit job? 2021? 2 years later?
Yeah.
Well, he did, but that was still a rebuild situation for them, though.
No, I understand that. I'll say that the argument people can say is, well, Dan Campbell wasn't ready to coach in 2019, and they're probably right about that. But still, he didn't want to come and coach. Like we asked for, and he's like, "No, I'm good. I'm just gonna stay here in New Orleans with Jeff Ireland and Sean Payton. I appreciate it, my guy. Thanks, but no thanks." And
Dan Rizzi.
I know our interim head coaches have had more success in the NFL than our last 7.
Than our actual 7 head coaches.
Both of them played in the divisional round against each other.
Jim Bates.
He was the defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers when they won the Super Bowl.
Yep. Jim Bates, Dan Campbell, and
Todd Bowles.
Todd Bowles have had more success in the NFL in the last 10 years than every single Miami Dolphins head coach in the last 15 years.
Oh, damn. I just thought about this.
Right.
Jim Bates and Todd Bowles were both defensive coordinators on their Super Bowl teams.
Correct.
That's Super Bowls as defensive coordinators.
I need y'all to think about that for a second.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the back that didn't hear. The last 3 interim head coaches for the Miami Dolphins have had more success in the last 10 years than the last 20 years of the Miami Dolphins head coaches. That's sad.
That is a sad state of affairs.
That's a sad statement. That's a franchise, and it should make you feel like shit if you're a fan. I don't want you.
Yeah, that'll send you to the pits of despair, Stephen D.
It should.
The pits of despair.
It should. And to be fair, guys, this team right now, I don't think that there is anything else that the Dolphins franchise can do to move forward. I think what they have right now is what they need to move forward with. I don't think, setting everything off and restarting from scratch is the right option here. I think that McDaniel has a good opportunity. I still don't think we've seen the ceiling for Tua yet. I know that a lot of people disagree with me with that, but I don't think we've seen a ceiling yet.
I agree with you on that.
I think
I don't know. I think you may have.
I think this is the best team
performance-wise
the Dolphins have had in the last 20 plus years, and we should be excited, and we should be like, okay, there's opportunity for hope. AKA,
I'm starting to believe it's not Stephen D.
I can, and by the way, I'm sure you can make good points on why it's not, and I'm not saying that you're wrong or that they're wrong. The people that say that or think that, I am just telling you, if there was any reason to have some hopium, I can make the argument that this is the best opportunity in the last 20 years as a fan of this franchise to have some. I can give you the most opium.
Yeah, I would say that is some opium because the thing is, that's like being the tallest midget in the room. You're the tallest out of all your midgets over and your history.
Say midget,
but compared to
it's compared, you got to
compared to the rest of the league. Oh, the little people.
Can't say.
You remember the cartoons?
Listen, it's like
we are the littles. You remember the cartoons?
It's like being the tallest person. It's like being the tallest person in the
I don't know,
Keebler
Crypto,
shop.
everybody. This has been great. This show just got canceled. Way to go, Crypto.
It's like being the tallest person in the Keebler and in the Keebler shop. There you go.
In the Keebler shop.
I love it.
Remember the show The Littles, the cartoon The Littles? We are the Littles.
Please don't sing.
So anyway, let's talk about the QB room in the AFC East. In the AFC, sorry. All right.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, you guys tell me if they need a QB, yes or no, and who do you think was their best quarterback
of all time?
That you remember. Okay. Let's start off with, of course, we're going to do the AFC.
Wait, in my lifetime or all time?
No, anytime that you could remember.
Okay.
Or lifetime, whatever you want to do. Just okay. Let's talk about. Let's start out west with the LA Chargers.
Also known as the San Diego Chargers.
Right.
Dean Spanos.
All of the places they moved.
Dean Spanos is an asshole and should have kept that team in San Diego. No reason they ever should have left. He was being greedy. Yep. And LA doesn't even want him.
LA, they don't need to have a team.
You know, look, the best quarterback of that franchise, you can argue, is Phillip Rivers or Dan Fouts. They've had a lot of success over the years, but they could never put it all together to win a Super Bowl, right? And you know,
sure wasn't Stan Humphries.
It was not Stan Humphries
or Ryan Leaf.
Or Ryan Leaf. No, thank you. Although you want to listen to a great podcast, Ryan Leaf has a really good podcast. But you know, I understand. Look, it scares the fuck out of me that Harbaugh took the job there.
Yep, he's
because Harbaugh's been teams around quick. Every single place he's been to. And part of the reason for taking the job there is because he trusts Herbert, or he likes the potential of Herbert. And so, you know, look, do I think that Tua is currently better than Herbert? My argument is yes, personally. But and I know a lot of you will disagree with me that are listening with that, and that's fine. That's not what this conversation is. But you know, look, I think I gotta go. I think I got to go Dan Fouts is the greatest quarterback of that franchise because Phillip Rivers' greatest accomplishment was fielding a entire football team himself with kids. So, because it definitely wasn't anything on the field. So, what does he have? 12 kids? 13 kids? So,
yeah, I don't know who Dan Fouts is. By the way, you know, it would have been better for Las Vegas Chargers and LA Raiders because Raiders was one of the franchises.
LA originally had the Raiders. No. You're not wrong. You know, I understand that thought process. Let me tell you, Vegas Raiders, though, it fits, man. It does fit. It hits hard. But they should be in Oakland. And Oakland, let me tell you, if there's ever a city that should be slapped, it's Oakland. Oakland has lost three. What is it? Two teams, two professional teams in 4 years.
Most of them go back and forward. Yeah.
The Athletics.
Well, no. They've lost 3. Let me tell you why. Because
He's didn't move, did he?
they're going to. They've already. They're moving. They're moving to Vegas. Las Vegas Athletics will be next year. This is their last year.
Oh, so both Oakland teams decided to go to Vegas.
All 3 Oakland teams, because the Golden State Warriors were in Oakland for all those years at the Oracle, and they left to go to San Francisco 2 years ago.
Yeah,
just across the bridge,
across the bay.
Yeah.
So that city has lost an NBA team, an NFL team, and it's already written in stone for them to lose the Major League Baseball team.
Major League team. Man,
that city should be slapped.
That is crazy.
Yeah, because when you think about, look, I grew up in the 90s.
Feel bad for them.
I grew up in the 90s, and when you think about when hip hop, LA hip hop was a thing, that's a lot of people like Ice Cube, Ice-T, all of them sported the Raiders.
Yeah,
NWA Raiders.
They were in that, and they were also in Los Angeles for a minute too.
The
Los Angeles Raiders with
the Black Hole.
The Black
Hole. Yep.
Yeah.
They support a lot of those rappers supported the
Yeah, I'm going but to answer your question, I'm going Dan Fouts, greatest quarterback of all time there, and
Herbert's a close second.
And Herbert has the potential to be the best with Harbaugh.
Yeah.
All right, how about Denver Broncos? John Elway, no doubt, right?
I mean, yeah, it's
I'm
Elway.
gonna still say Elway.
It's Elway. Even with Peyton Manning there, it's definitely.
You sure it wasn't Palmer or
no,
actually, you know who it was?
Brian.
It was Tim Tebow.
It was Tim Tebow. Yeah, it's got to be Tim Tebow.
You know.
He won a playoff game.
My wife and I. My wife and I got married in 2011, which was when Tebow was going on, and we got married on a Saturday, and that Sunday the Miami Dolphins faced the Denver Broncos.
Oh,
and so we went across the street the day after we got married, and we went to the Green Turtle Sports Bar to watch the Dolphins game, because I said we're not leaving for our honeymoon on the day that the Dolphins play. We're leaving on Monday. So we're going to stay the day after the wedding so that we can go somewhere to watch the Dolphins game, and then we can leave the next day. See where my priorities were in my new marriage. But
yes. And she's a hell of a wife to allow you to do that, though. Shout out to you, Ms. Daniels.
Yeah.
Tamika is absolutely the best thing in my life. But we go to the sports bar. Dolphins are up 14-0 going into the fourth quarter. And my wife goes, Tebow's going to win it. And they're going to win 15-14. Tell me why they won 15-14. To this day, I still give my wife shit, for that. Like, you jinxed it. But she knew, man. And Tebow, there's two things in sports, just as a sports fan, that we'll never see again. The Tim Tebow mania, and it was crazy. Like, let's be real. And Linsanity and basketball. Jeremy Lin with the Knicks in that little 10-game. I don't even think it was 10 games. It was like 7 games.
Mitchell Mania was pretty strong too.
Mitchell Mania?
Who was it?
Mitchell Mania?
Mitch.
When he was with the Jaguars? Mitchell Mania?
Yeah, Trubisky.
Look, hey,
Yeah, Minshew. Gardner Minshew.
Minshew made the Pro Bowl this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
It's a joke, but neither here nor there.
Yeah, it is. That's what I say. It's the Waffle Bowl.
By the way, yeah, it's Elway. It's Elway, 100% Elway. It's not even.
How about Raiders? By the way, do you think they need a quarterback? Yes or no? Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about? Oh, yeah. We're supposed to be talking about, do they need a quarterback now? To go back to Denver, yeah, they do. Russell Wilson's not the answer, but they are definitely going to get one in this upcoming draft. I could see somebody like Drake May, or maybe even Caleb Williams being there. But they're going to get one of the big name quarterbacks in this upcoming draft, and their future, I think, could be bright depending on what happens there. But right now, I think it's a shit show. I think they made a lot of bad decisions in the last 2 years. But they have an opportunity to turn it around. And
but I could see, and this is a hot take for me as far as Denver. I could see where Dan Payton, Sean Payton, he took a retreaded Drew Brees and made him turn him around again. I think he said, you know what, Jameis Winston, when you were with me before you got hurt, we were ahead of the division. We were, you think you had your best statistical year
going to Denver to be the back.
Yeah, I could see that happening,
or the bridge quarterback for whatever rookie ends up being there.
Yeah, I could see that happening, and I could see him. Doing big things. Because listen, he had less turnovers with Sean Payton. I think he was playing a lot better football with Sean Payton in the Saints.
It's not a bad take. Not a bad take. I like it. But they need to draft one no matter what. So that's where they're at.
Of course, the Raiders.
You said the Raiders.
With discount Derek.
Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders need to draft a quarterback. Currently.
Which, by the way, there's talks of Adam Gase being their offensive coordinator.
I'd laugh my ass off. I don't know if that franchise will ever be good till Mark Davis is not the owner there, and I don't see him leaving anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I have not been to that stadium, but that stadium looks dope as fuck.
Yeah.
They modeled it after a black luxury car.
No, it's called the Death Star.
That's what it is.
It's Star Wars.
Yeah, but they used the car.
The greatest Raiders quarter. I mean, it's got to be Plunkett, right? Tim Plunkett.
No,
gotta be.
No, it's Stabler.
Stabler.
Yeah, Kenny Stabler.
I'm about to go for.
Yeah, it's probably Stabler. It's hey, Jamarcus Russell.
Him or either Rich Gannon.
Oh,
right, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, them or Rich Gannon. Them not two choices for the Raiders.
How about the Kansas City Chiefs?
Kansas City Chiefs do not need a quarterback.
Maybe it had to be who's that guy? Steve DeBerg. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking about.
Steve DeBerg. Yeah.
Isn't the guy who they have a picture of smoking a cigarette in the sidelines?
Their best quarterback was Joe Montana.
It was Lynn Dawson.
All right, let's be real. They don't need a quarterback. And if Mahomes wins this Super Bowl, which I think that he will, he'll go. I think he could be the GOAT. I think.
Yeah, already. He just got tier. Well, he's at guard tier, but yeah, because you figure that is like
this is hands
down.
That's
way less than what Brady had if he wins.
Hands down the worst team I've ever seen put together, and they're still fucking dominant, and it just amazes me. And I talked all sorts of shit this year about them, rightfully so during the regular season. Let's get it straight. They didn't put nothing on paper this year in the regular season that made anybody remotely think, oh, this team's going to win the Super Bowl.
But that experience, that's what does it.
No, nobody.
And you're right, 100% Crypto. You hit the nail on the head. And I said it on my.
I'll try to walk everybody off that ledge. Experience eventually gets you in the playoffs.
Overcomes anything. And that's why that no matter what, you don't fucking bet against Mahomes. You just don't. And so if he wins a Super Bowl this year, that'll be
clinch it for
that'll be 3 Super Bowls in 4 years, right? 3 Super Bowls in 4 years?
And 4 Super Bowl appearances in 6.
Yep. He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, that's the rate he's on. He will be on pace to win 8 in 10, 11 years.
But I'm gonna
that's the rate.
I'm gonna say if he wins it this year, he's the GOAT. I think he's better than Brady if he wins it this year, and he won't even have as many as Brady. And I don't give a shit.
Right. But see, you got to remember.
I don't look. Even
I don't think he has to have as many. This is why I say that.
I don't think.
Remember Brady's first. But I think Brady's first couple of ones. It wasn't all Brady for say dragging bad teams.
That was a Super Bowl contending team that he took over for with Bledsoe. It was a Super Bowl contending team.
It was a Super Bowl contending team when he walked into Tampa and took the reins.
Well, I don't know.
That team was pretty much stacked.
But they put together a lot of veterans, right? And so that's something.
Yeah, they had a stacked defense already, and then they had the 3 best wide receiver core in football. Yeah, they was built for Brady to just be dropped in, and take over the reins. It's way better than what Kansas City had to work with this year.
So by the way, real quick, Patrick Mahomes they're good at quarterback for the next 10 years. And Patrick Mahomes Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback they've ever had, and they've had a lot of really.
And probably will ever have for a while. Yeah. You can imagine the next great for Kansas City. That means that's what they're gonna have to be better than.
Side note, just for everybody to remind, because I said this on my show this week. Last 20 AFC Championship games have either had Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes in it.
Yep, that's crazy.
Wow.
That is
heartbreaking.
20 AFC Championship games have either had Brady or Mahomes, and they've even been together in one of them. And 20
they actually shared one.
Yeah, and you know what's funny?
One time, yep.
And the 20 before that had Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, or Ben Roethlisberger.
No. That
as far as the Super Bowl,
in the last 20, then. So it's either been Mahomes or Brady, and then the other 2 quarterbacks that really share some of that was Roethlisberger or
Peyton Manning.
And then there's Joe Flacco's in there once or twice, I think,
and ironically, Mark Sanchez
and Blake Bortles.
Bortles and Sanchez made their way in there.
No, Mark Sanchez was more than 20 years ago, guys. More than 20 years.
No, it wasn't. It was 2016.
Was it? Mark Sanchez?
Yeah, with Rex Ryan. Yeah. Remember they lost in the title game to the Steelers.
Rex Ryan was in Buffalo in 2016.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
Well, it was in the 20 teens, because I remember that was the year of the butt fumble.
It was. He made the AFC Championship game. He left the Jets in 2013.
Yeah, it was in the 20 teens when the Jets won. Because they won a playoff game.
It's 2024.
Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So it has been 20 years. It has been 20 years. I'm doing that new math. You're right. It was.
Yeah, because 2012 was 10 years, not
10 years. Yeah. Man, Steven, you got some crazy math going on there.
I do got some crazy math going on. My bad. Okay, so there's Mark Sanchez and Joe Flacco's in there too.
That sprinkled in there with the Mr. Butt fumble actually got in the action
twice.
Well, that's another thing that makes you depressed. Was I heard Joey Taylor said that Jason Taylor had his best success with the Jets. He made an AFC championship with the Jets.
Yep.
And he even won a playoff game with us.
Holy cow.
I think he did win a playoff game. Never mind.
Yeah, he beat the Patriots.
I think he won one game.
Yeah, Sanchez beat the Patriots.
Tennessee, let's Tennessee
That's
Titans.
Crazy.
Tennessee
Tannehill.
No, it's probably Steve McNair. It's McNair.
By far, it's Tannehill.
No, it's Steve McNair. They want
to. Actually, I'm gonna say Warren Moon.
Warren Moon.
Remember, they were the Oilers.
But they were the Oilers. Yeah, it's Warren Moon.
I still think I'm taking Steve. Correct me if I'm
wrong.
No way.
Moon is the better passer, even better passer than Marino.
Titans lost that Super Bowl, right? They lost that Super Bowl.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, with McNair and Dyson.
As
far as passing goes,
Warren Moon, or
he's got all the records.
No, you're probably right. It's Warren Moon.
Yeah, he's one of the top 10.
Warren Moon had a better career, but I think McNair might have had more success.
Yeah, because he made a Super Bowl
with him.
Yeah. So,
but again, just because they went to the Super Bowl, then you're saying then who was better, Bob Greasy or Dan Marino?
Greasy.
Yes, yeah, undefeated.
Yeah.
All right, Indianapolis Colts.
Hold on.
Come on, we're not going to. Titans, I think they have their quarterback in the coffee mayonnaise coffee and mayonnaise guy. So
Will Levi,
Yes.
Levi,
Right.
Levi,
Levis.
Levis.
It's the best one they've ever had, probably in their history. Coffee mayonnaise.
I'm gonna be real with you guys. Them letting go of Rabel, maybe they knew something
they
the
did it
rest
too
of the
soon.
NFL didn't, because he still doesn't have a fucking job, which amazes me.
true.
No, they may have done it too soon though. They were starting to come back. They beat us and gave us our first loss at home.
Well, look, I'll be real. I think they made a big mistake as a franchise getting rid of Rabel.
Yeah, I think it was too soon. They should give it one more year.
I am not a fan of Levis, however the fuck you say his name, but I think I still think they need a quarterback. I don't think that Will Levis is the guy for them.
Yeah, you crazy, Steven.
I don't think he's
the best quarterback in football right now.
No, the fuck he's not.
He is.
But so, all right,
anybody who beats the Dolphins is the best quarterback of all time.
See,
that's going to be my new stance.
Indianapolis Colts, they got my man Anthony Richardson, AR-15, baby.
Colts have the quarterback of the future as long as he can stay healthy. And the best quarterback for the Colts ever was Ryan Leaf. Ryan Leaf, 100%.
Yeah, definitely Ryan Leaf.
Hold on, wasn't Ryan Leaf in Chargers though? Ryan Leaf.
It was Jim Plunkett.
But I think didn't Leaf also play for the Colts?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, he did.
I think he did
for one time, just one season. But the thing was, y'all forgetting Johnny Unitas is the best quarterback they've ever had.
Yeah, was coach under Don Shula. No, but no, actually, that's technically Baltimore.
Ryan Leaf played for the Chargers, the Bucks, the Cowboys.
The Colts. Yeah, that is the Colts.
So it was not the Colts. So who am I thinking about then? Who was the quarterback before Manning got there? Was it Harbaugh?
No.
Yeah, Harbaugh was there. Yeah, Harbaugh was the quarterback.
It was you talk about Mr. Caveman, Andrew Luck.
Oh, Andrew Luck might be the best quarterback ever.
That's what you're thinking about.
We all know it's Peyton Manning.
Mr. Caveman.
It's Peyton
He looks
Manning.
exactly like the Caveman on the Geico commercial. I swear they could be twins.
So Peyton Manning.
Pull up a picture of Andrew Luck and then pull up a picture of the Geico Caveman. Tell me they're not lost brothers.
By the way, Geico's doing a great job bringing back the Caveman guys on their marketing. It's really
I'll tell you, boy, Andrew Luck might be a stand-in for one of them because he looks exactly like him.
I'll say this. Shake. Peyton Manning's the best quarterback to ever play for the Colts, and it's not even close. And I think they have the quarterback of their future, Will Richardson. But I have to put an asterisk there because look, he got hurt his rookie year, right? So you got to stay healthy.
He's going to take judo lessons in the offseason.
But his talent is there, 100%.
Yeah.
He's taking jiu-jitsu in the offseason. He'll fix it.
It works.
So, yeah. And then Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville Jaguars best quarterback to ever play.
It's crazy that what's his name is called him. Brunell has been caught by Sunshine.
I think that it's probably Mark Brunell, but Trevor Lawrence.
Lawrence is very is neck and neck.
Trevor Lawrence has the opportunities to surpass it.
Yeah, it's still young for him, but Brunell now, as far as career,
now I'll tell you somebody.
Total career.
I'll tell you somebody you can make an argument for is Byron Leftwich. You can make an argument that Byron Leftwich was really good during his
he was a statue. He was a true mannequin.
But I still think it's Mark Brunell 1, Trevor Lawrence is a close second and has an opportunity to surpass him. As far as where they're at right now, it's a very
career.
I think that franchise right now is in a very interesting space because after last offseason, I thought that they were going to have one of the biggest jumps this past season. I thought that they were going to be a great team this year. And
they're battling for first place.
They had a collapse just like we did. In fact, you can even argue and say that their collapse was worse than ours because we made the playoffs and they didn't. So
no, they collapsed wasn't because they didn't have their lead wasn't as great as ours over the second place guy.
I think it was. I think they had a 3-game lead. I think they had
no, it wasn't. They was always neck and neck with
Houston. They had a big lead over Houston.
Dude, I think they had a 3-game lead on Houston at one.
No, that was last year when Houston caught them. Like when Houston came back on Tennessee. You're thinking about that one. When they came back on Tennessee, it was a 6-game lead.
At minimum, it was a 2-game lead this year. But aside from that, I think that there's a question mark there with that franchise. It depends on what happens this year, because I like Doug Peterson. I like Trevor Lawrence. I think that what Jacksonville is doing is pretty good. But I was very wrong about them this year. And I don't know why. I don't have an answer as to why that they collapsed the way that they collapsed. That's my answer about Jax.
And then Houston, of course, they don't need a quarterback, but
CJ Stroud is the quarterback of the future. There's a lot to like about him.
No, they're not drafting nobody.
I'll say
they draft well. Watson now because he has a better career. He has the longer career. Yeah, he put up better numbers overall in that uniform than.
Let me think.
In the small sample size with Sherrod.
If you go look at
the trajectory, Sherrod say he'll be better because he'll have more time. But as far as total raw numbers, it's still Watson.
I think if you go look at success, I think that you can say Deshaun Watson probably. But if you go look at numbers, Matt Schaub put up a lot of great numbers. And even David Carr put up a lot of good numbers.
Yeah, they had and Andre Johnson too.
Well, he was a wide receiver, but David Carr,
that's who his
brother, was the quarterback there for like 8 years on some really bad teams. But he had some good numbers even on those bad teams.
Yeah.
I think Deshaun Watson is probably the greatest quarterback that's ever played for the Houston Texans. But I can hear arguments for
Sherrod would be
David Carr and maybe even Shaw. I can hear arguments for those two, but I still think it's Watson. And they have the quarterback of the future that the moment
going to probably replace all the numbers, a handful of numbers, years.
I'll tell you,
CJ Stroud will pass.
I have never seen a quarterback come in year one, with the exception of maybe Andrew Luck. And
Andrew Luck was doing.
And just shut up everybody. I mean, CJ Stroud came into the league on fire.
I like to pat myself on the back because that was my new team I pick every year to make it into the playoffs. And say they're going to be the upset.
And I would like to say that it was an easy pick to make, but nobody can tell or nobody has a crystal ball, right? But man, CJ Stroud checks all the boxes, doesn't he? And you can even make the argument now.
Ohio State quarterbacks,
after 1 year, that he's better than Tua. And that sucks to hear, but you can make that argument.
Yeah, even at this stage.
I am not saying that I agree or disagree with that
because of what he's putting on the field and who he's got thrown to.
I am indifferent about that statement. But I'm going to tell you right now, CJ Stroud's ceiling is a hell of a lot higher than Tua's.
Yeah. Given the fact that who he's working with now. Yeah.
Well, Ryan or D'Amico Ryans, who's the coach there. Talk about a great hire. Talk about going from.
He built the staff immediately from San Fran.
100% did. He 100%
immediately took. I'm taking these guys with me.
Who was the guy there before him?
It was Lovie Smith.
No, Lovey was the yes.
It was kind of like a stopgap guy. It was who was that other guy they was talking about?
Offensive coordinator for the Patriots.
It was him. Yeah.
No, he was the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens.
No, he wasn't. Bill O'Brien.
Okay,
yeah. Bill O'Brien. What a clown that guy is. Straight clown.
It was a clown show that year between them.
And made some horrible trades and put that franchise in a very bad position when he left. Lovey came in, unfortunately, was a scapegoat.
Heads off to the GM, right? Yeah, the GM for cleaning it up in short time.
Lovey got the short end of the stick.
Yeah, he was a sacrificial lamb.
Ryans was the fucking pick that that guy's good.
That was the right hire.
Great fucking hire. And I'll go as far to say this. I think D'Amico Ryans is better than Sean McVay. He's that I think he's that good. Love D'Amico Ryans.
Well, and you know what's funny?
He built the team the way it should be.
Yeah.
Young, talented, and grow together.
2 things I want to point out. Number one, everybody says, well, the Houston Texans, they won the trade with Miami Dolphins. No, it wasn't. I think we still won that trade. The trade, one of the reasons why they're far ahead, it wasn't because of the trade what they did to the Dolphins. It's the trade they did with Cleveland. That's number one. With the Deshaun Watson, they won that trade. They won the Deshaun Watson trade.
But as far as our trade and their shake, I think nobody won it. That's the jury's still out.
Yeah,
because we haven't produced nothing out of that trade.
There you go, Crypto. We haven't produced enough for us to say that we won the trade, although we clearly won it. It was a better
talent wise, we won it, but as far as results wise, we didn't win it.
We just haven't we haven't done shit with it.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Talent wise, we won the trade, but results wise, we didn't. The jury's still out.
Yeah. And then another thing, looking at the Houston team is probably what got Bill Belichick fired, because the GM. The guy who's doing drafting was in New England.
That's why Gerard Mayo is the head coach there now.
Is the head coach now, right? Shake. You got him fired.
It's a very accurate statement, Shake.
Yeah,
and I agree with you.
They're like, damn man, we had this GM and you didn't let him pick the groceries for us. Look at what he's doing that team in Houston.
Look what he's doing in Houston. I'll be so pissed if I was freaking Robert Kraft. Like, man,
but
that son of a bitch.
All right, let's we're almost done here. AFC, how much time we got you for, man?
You're good, man. Let's keep going.
Okay. We got Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals have Joe Burrow. They're totally fine. The best quarterback that ever played was probably Boomer Esiason.
Was now Esiason and Burrow's on his heels. Yep.
And Burrow's right there. Burrow makes another.
No red rifle.
No Andy Dalton.
Andy Dalton. Yeah.
Andy Dalton.
It should be Andy. I would say Ken Anderson.
Andy Dalton was a product of a great system there for many years, and he had a lot of good weapons. Chad Ochocinco, right, was there for many years. TJ Hoosier Mazzilli, who's your mom?
What about Achilles Smith?
Achilles Smith, oh man, that's a name. That is a fucking name. So bad for that guy.
Right,
bust in NFL history.
Oh my God, Achilles Smith.
Yeah, it's 100% Boomer Esiason, but
Boomer just only because his longevity in career.
Burrow,
it'll be Burrow easily now. As far
Burrow
as
makes
right there, neck and
if he makes another Super Bowl run, I think
he'll pass him. He gets way ahead of him. Yep, he leapfrogs him right away. Yep,
but they're fine now. Side note, Burrow has missed more games than Tua due to injury.
Yeah, that's true.
Just now he has after this season. Yep. Collectively, he's missed more.
That's something to watch out for.
Well, that's depressing because he's got more success but missed more games. That makes it even more depressing.
Mm-hmm.
He's got more success into it, even though he missed more games. That sucks.
From a Cincinnati standpoint, if you're a fan of the Bengals, you should be scared, because does Burrow have an injury problem? And I think that's a fair argument and discussion to have.
Maybe he'll be taking judo lessons in the offseason.
I think every team, their biggest fear is Andrew Luck. I really think that's every team's biggest fear.
Andrew Luck, he only was in the league for 7 seconds.
And by the way, what I mean by that,
then he retired.
What I mean by that, Shake, is there are so many players that have had injuries in their careers that hasn't produced, right? That hasn't worked out. But Andrew Luck was so good.
Yeah, that was like good. When he announced his retirement, I damn near cried. I'm like, oh God,
we all did, right? And
Brady's about to win a couple of more titles because he was going to take one
Luck
from
was easily going to make a run at a Super Bowl or two, and he was going to be. He could even easily had a Hall of Fame career, but his injuries got to him, right? You knew Andrew Luck had the goods. So I say that is every quarterback, or that is every franchise's worst fear, is drafting the right guy, knowing that you have him. And it's still
then he has to leave
because of the injuries. And I think that's a fear that the Miami Dolphins front office had up until this year. I really do.
And you know why I laughed just now is because I'm thinking about this. Look, like you said, Andrew Luck was a great talent, and
Andrew Luck was the best.
Yeah, great talent, but the injuries left him, right?
Yeah.
Guess what quarterback the Indianapolis has now? Anthony Richardson. They could be going through that same thing again.
All over again.
All over again. Deja vu.
That's why I said there's a question mark there.
Yeah.
But yeah. I think for the most part that Burrow's fine and Cincinnati's fine. Who's next?
Yeah, but I agree with you. On a side note, I agree with you on Boomer Esiason. I'll never forget one of the things that really got me into football. For a while, I was a little Cincinnati Bengals fan because I was a casual fan, right? And then I started watching of course, Dolphins because they're the home team. Mm-hmm. And then I watched the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl was literally down the street from where I lived at Hard Rock. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The very first Super Bowl at Hard Rock was the San Francisco 49ers and the Cincinnati Bengals. I was rooting for the Bengals. As a matter of fact, that was the very first ever Bud Bowl, where it was Bud Light versus Bud Weiser.
Hold on, is this Joe Montana or Steve Young? And
no, this is Joe Montana and Joe Montana versus Boomer Esiason.
You were did you go to that Super Bowl?
No, I lived down the street from the stadium.
You did
when they played there.
I grew up down the street from Hard Rock.
Robbie.
Yeah, Joe Robbie at the time. I grew up down the street from Joe Robbie Stadium. It was packed.
That's a great fucking Super Bowl. That's one of the best Super Bowls ever.
Oh yeah, I was also down the street when Steve Young won his Super Bowl against the Chargers.
Against the Chargers that year, yep.
Who was the quarterback for the Chargers that year?
That was Stan freaking Humphries. The guy that freaking beat us in the divisional with the missed field goal by Storanovich.
I think not this show, but it would be a good show.
I was so mad.
Yes.
Quarterbacks that have been to AFC or NFC championship games in Super Bowl only one time. Quarterbacks that have been to AFC or NFC championship games or Super Bowls only one time.
Oh yeah, and I tell you what, next time you like maybe during the off season, if you have whenever you want to come back, we'll do that show.
Don Strock.
So
yep,
Miami Dolphins, baby. But anyway,
who's next?
Pittsburgh.
Neil O'Donnell. No,
I'm gonna say Cordell Stewart.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Or it's somewhere between him and Booby Brewster.
You're not gonna say Terry, the original TB12.
Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah, Terry Bradshaw is probably more successful than all of them.
Well, the success is there, yes, but I think Roethlisberger was the better quarterback person.
Yeah, I agree.
Big Ben was the better out of the two, but even though Bradshaw got more accomplishments.
My personal opinion, you don't have to agree with it, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Roethlisberger's probably the best quarterback to ever play for that franchise. He's not the most successful, but he's definitely the best quarterback in my opinion. And I don't think that they have the quarterback of the future right now in Kenny Pickett. And I don't know.
I think Mason Rudolph got the potential to be the greatest of all time.
I don't know where that team goes except to try to trade up and go after one of the big name quarterbacks like Drake May or Caleb Williams or somebody else. Otherwise, I feel like, and I love Tomlin. I think Tomlin is the best head coach in the NFL. I really do.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think the writing's on the wall for him, and he's just delaying the inevitable if he decides to stick with Kenny Pickett. I do.
It's going to be interesting what they decide to go with.
All right, Cleveland Browns.
Given that they've had so many different franchises, different cities, Baltimore originally, then Cleveland, and then the new Cleveland Browns or the old Cleveland Browns, which would be the Ravens.
I'm gonna go.
I guess by the city, if you're talking about still being a franchise, Bernie Kosar.
Bernie Kosar, probably, yeah.
If you're talking about
to be fair,
as a city.
To be fair, that organization has just made stupid upon stupid decisions over the years, and Baker Mayfield should still be in Cleveland, and it's a shame.
Should be,
and it's
he should be still in Cleveland. You don't think Johnny Manziel should be there?
No.
Tim Couch.
Yeah, Tim Couch.
Couch.
Hell,
I'm gonna put him at number one. Shake Money.
I think they went through more quarterbacks than we did.
Almost as much. Maybe they're getting close to us. Yeah.
No, I think
it could be.
More. I think they have more.
You think so?
I think.
Yeah, because especially this year, if you add they was on their 5th quarterback. So yeah, you're right, Shake. They did pass us up because this year alone they had 5 different starting quarterbacks.
And what sucks for them is a lot of those quarterbacks were first-round draft picks, top 10 first-round picks.
Who did you say was the best quarterback crypto of Cleveland?
I said Bernie.
It's got to be Bernie Kosar. It's got to be. It's got to be Bernie. That team is a mess. Deshaun Watson. I mean, I'll be real with you.
The jury's still out on Deshaun.
Now,
that's where I stand right now.
I mean, look, my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That team's not doing anything right now. They're just not. Flacco.
You know what that means, Shake Money.
Flacco's better than Deshaun right now. Let's be real. Let's call a spade a spade.
No, I won't say that. They're the same.
The
numbers are comparable.
Are they though?
Flacco had more time with them.
Flacco had 7 weeks or 8 weeks. What the fuck are you talking about, crypto?
No, he came in after when
what?
he got hurt in the Ravens game.
Deshaun's been there for 2 years and done absolutely nothing.
See, that's where you get misleading, Stephen D. You know, 2 years is not actually 2 calendar years as far as game time. 6 games at the back half of one season, and then 6 games at the front half of this season. That's only 12 games.
Well, I'm telling you right now, they will regret paying that man. Because it was stupid. It was the wrong.
And you know my philosophy that I've been saying all along. Whenever a major Dolphins fan start pounding any other quarterback the previous year, the very next season, that quarterback goes out and destroys the league because it happened already with Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, C.J. Stroud. Every quarterback right now that had a good season this year is the result of a Dolphins fan constantly pounding the table saying how bad they were the previous year. So it's almost guaranteed that Deshaun Watson's going to be an MVP candidate.
I put in my thing here. Crypto. Are you saying that Deshaun Watson is going to be an MVP candidate next year?
Yes, all because collectively the Dolphins fans have decided that they're going to go all full tilt on the downfall of this player because we said it about Lamar Jackson last year.
I got to give me one of them things, by the way. How do I get one of those?
Is you finished or is you done?
No, I'm just saying we said it about Lamar and all these other quarterbacks.
I'm telling you right now.
We said it about Geno Smith.
Cleveland needs a quarterback of the future, and Deshaun Watson is not it.
There you go. You was feeling the same way about the Raiders in the opposite direction, and what happened with that team.
It's fine.
That's what I say. It's always the opposite. If you really want Deshaun to do bad, you should be saying that he's going to do good. Never come out the previous year and say he's going to do bad. It's guaranteed that he's going to do good.
So the next team, let's go to the next team. Baltimore Ravens.
Lamar Jackson is an MVP, deserves to be the MVP. I think, it's so funny thinking about the entire NFL had an opportunity to put a franchise transition tag on him or the transition tag on him and trade for him
2 first-round picks. That's all they needed.
And not one team in the NFL did it. It amazes me that nobody fucking pulled the trigger on that. Because
Indy would have been good.
He was there for the taking. And the Ravens were ready to. The Ravens were playing a game of chicken, and they were. And I'm telling you right the fuck now, if any team had to put the transition tag in on him, the Ravens were letting his ass walk. They were going to do it. They weren't. They were not going to do it. And so
yeah, that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why people says, "Hey, man, look." If the Ravens made him Lamar play on a 5th year, that's what the Dolphins should do with Tua. But that's there.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've been saying let him play.
Green Bay did it too, Shake.
Let Tua play on the 23 mil. That's where I'm at with it. But is Lamar the best quarterback to ever play for them? That's tough because Joe Flacco had a hell of a career for them, a hell of a career. And you go look at the success. Flacco won a Super Bowl. Flacco, during that Super Bowl run where they won, had, even to this day, I think it's 13 touchdowns or 11 or 13 touchdowns and no interceptions during the playoffs that year. Had the highest quarterback rating, best quarterback numbers of any quarterback in a playoffs ever in the history of the NFL. So I'm going to say the best quarterback in the history of the Baltimore Ravens is Joe Flacco, and still is.
Yeah.
And, but all Lamar has to do is win one Super Bowl. And actually, Lamar's got to get to a Super Bowl. If Lamar gets to a Super Bowl, he'll be the best quarterback of all time for them.
Yeah. It's not Trent Dilfer then?
Okay.
Fuck no.
You sure? Because Trent Dilfer had some staggering numbers.
Trent Dilfer's numbers were so good that they won the Super Bowl and then said, "Here's the door. Have a nice day." And then went and got Elvis Gerback because they thought Gerback was going to be the guy.
Hey,
how can you let down Elvis? Anybody with the name Elvis, you can't turn down the
but
king.
you think about it, they did the same thing to Flacco.
Elvis Gerback won the MVP the year prior with the Kansas City Chiefs, then signed with the Baltimore Ravens after they won the Super Bowl with Delfer. And then the following year after that, Elvis Gerback retired from football and was out of the league.
That's crazy.
Facts.
All right.
You can't turn down Elvis. He's the king.
Who's next?
So we're going to go into our division, the AFC East.
Okay.
Now, check this out. One thing, I'm a numbers guy. Okay. Now, I discovered, I pulled this out. I discovered that the AFC East as currently constructed without the Indianapolis Colts, okay? The AFC East as currently constructed, because I got to point that out. You know what I'm saying? Every quarterback in the AFC as currently constructed, I'll say it again, had the peak of their franchise when the quarterback wore the number 12. Jets won the Super Bowl when they won 12. The 4 times the Bills went to the Super Bowl, the quarterback wore 12. When we went undefeated, wore 12. And I don't got to tell you about the New England Patriots.
That TB12 fella?
Yeah.
Right. Every single team in this division, quarterback wore 12 when they was at their highest.
Wow. And I don't think I've heard anybody put that together. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Pretty cool.
That's crazy. Yeah, we got to convince our quarterback to wear that number if we want to go back to greatness.
Well, it's taken. It's currently taken.
Yeah, so every quarterback now every team in the AFC
retired,
East,
right? It's retired. That's what
12 is retired.
Mm-hmm. Hell, unretired.
All right, what team are we talking? What team are we starting with, Shake?
Let's start with the bottom feeders, New England Patriots. Right now,
yes. Greatest quarterback of all time, 100%.
Dick Felt.
Say Jacoby Brissett.
Dick Felt.
No,
I'm gonna say Tony. I'm gonna say Tony Eason.
Tony Eason is the best quarterback that ever played for the New England Patriots. No, Drew Bledsoe.
Absolutely, it's got to be Tony.
Yeah.
Him or Steve Grogan.
Steve Grogan. Oh, that's a good one too. Yep.
Gotta be Grogan. No one is bad as good as Grogan.
We all fucking hate him. He's a piece of fucking shit because he beat us for 20 years, and I hate him. And I don't care how awesome of a person.
The reign of terror.
I don't care how awesome of a person he was off the field or how much charity work he does. F that guy who deflated.
Is that his wife or him, Steven?
I mean, I don't. It's his ex-wife now. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. His ex. He was sitting in court about a month ago. Yeah,
I'm gonna say that he who we shall not name is the greatest quarterback of all time there, and that
most accomplished.
I'm very excited as a football fan, not just as a football fan, to see what happens with Gerard Mayo. That's a very interesting direction that franchise is headed in after 20 years of Belichick. They don't have the quarterback there, but it'll be. Look,
they're drafting the quarterbacks.
They are 100%.
Caleb Williams will be a Patriot.
To answer the question of what their future looks like, Shake, it's a huge question mark, and I'm excited to see how it plays out as a football fan because I like Gerard Mayo. I do.
It's gonna be interesting. him and Caleb Williams pairing up, it's gonna be interesting.
If they get Caleb Williams, I'll just die. Just die. Just shoot me. Next.
All right. The Jets. Jets. Jets.
Mark
Jets.
Sanchez is hands down the best guy. Nope. Wait, it was probably.
I'm gonna go Ray Lucas.
No, Ray Lucas.
Yeah.
Was Cleo Lemon there too?
Yeah. Ray Lucas was the. Yeah, we stole him. We stole Ray Lucas because he was important.
Chad
we needed
Pennington.
that championship piece.
Chad Pennington.
It's crazy. Chad Pennington won the award.
Are we talking Dolphins or Jets? What team are we
Jets.
talking about?
Oh, he put up some numbers with the Jets. He was like comeback player of the year twice with them and with us.
And by the way, Ray Lucas does the Jets media like after the game.
After the game. Yeah.
All right, let's go.
It's crazy if he only if he would have played one snap, I would say Aaron Rodgers.
Who is the best? I mean, it's gotta be Broadway Joe, right? It's gotta be Broadway Joe.
Since Broadway Joe actually played football games for them, yeah.
But if you're asking me to pick somebody besides Broadway Joe, I'd have a difficult time picking one. I really would.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like I said, every team in the AFC East,
To be fair, the most successful quarterback outside of Broadway Joe in the Jets' history was Mr. Butt Fumble. Because he had 2 AFC championship game appearances.
Yeah.
Sanchez was the most successful, doing it Tom Brady era.
Yeah.
Hollywood.
But Broadway Joe's the most successful.
But we all know when Aaron Rodgers finished a complete season, it'll be Aaron. After one season. All he needs to do is just finish probably one game and he'll be number one.
My personal opinion of the outlook or the view of the future of the New York Jets shake is bleak at best. I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to come in and do what he did. Personally, I just don't see it. If he does do it, I'll be very surprised. They do not have the quarterback of the future currently there.
Aaron Rodgers is playing at least 10 years.
I look, if you're asking gun to head, they don't have the quarterback of the future there. Aaron Rodgers is going to fail there again next year, and Robert Saleh is going to get fired. That's what I think is going to happen next year for the Jets.
Well, I was hoping for.
He never had a chance to fail. What do you mean, Steven? He never played a game.
I was hoping Robert Saleh would have got fired, so he'd be our defensive coordinator.
I would have liked to see that.
You're gonna have to wait at least 7 seasons for that.
But all right, that's where I'm at with it.
That general manager is not going to be doing that.
It is 100% unequivocally Ryan Fitzpatrick is the best quarterback they have.
Hell yeah, Fitzmagic.